Thailand's media, militaries and government loves to blur the line. And since they love narrative framing so much, I want to expose them. And this series will break down all of their deceptions. All the research will be in the description down below. In previous video, I worked on a research of reflexive control, which is a Russian's military doctrines that there are a lot of similarities between Thailand's information tactic in this war with Russia's, where it involved a lot of deceptions, involved a lot of confusing of the observers, involved a lot of narrative framing to appear lawful but to avoid full compliances. And in this kind of conflicts, it's important to have a framework in place because there are a lot of news around from different media sources and from government statements. But when we gather all of those fragments and put it into a framework to analyze, we can then see which side truly won peace. And so I want to break down by starting with the logic and the facts presented. On May 28th, a Cambodian soldier was shot. If Cambodia truly wished to start the war, then that would already have been the justifications to start the war already. But we need to analyze deeper in terms of patterns and evidence, because the same thing happened in 2008. Thailand was building fortification around the disputed area, but back then they claimed it was for self-defense. But this time, when Cambodia, a country with military defense, built a fortification for defense, they said, we are going to attack them. So that is one accusation. And in 2008, they built this fortification and later on they shot a Cambodian soldier. On May 28th, they tried doing the same thing. They shot a Cambodian soldier. And Cambodian, I would say, learned from its lesson back in 2008. We didn't bite the bullet this time. We took our fallen soldiers back in our homelands and we tried our best to de-escalate. So this one event already posed question: who truly wants this war? And guess what? I've been searching a lot of Thai's media. This event is actually dead silent. And if they mention it, they said a Cambodian soldier was shot because Cambodian fired first, which is completely illogical, but their citizens are still somehow buying it. And then comes the Landmine incident. And from this point on out, I will use my framework to analyze Thai's patterns of deceptions. So with the landmines, Thailand was the first to frame the narrative, saying that Cambodian planted the landmines. And then Thailand used a tool called moral pressure or legal framing, where they openly say Cambodia broke the Ottawa Convention. Remember, while all of this is happening with their news source bringing it out, and then the big media repeated what Thai headlines are saying. So it leads to a media echo chambers of lies with no verification. And indeed, there was no verification for third party. There is only one thing, and that is internal justifications, where Thailand investigated it and said that we planted the landmines. Based on logic, based on actual size of military, based on Cambodian history, does it make sense for Cambodia to plant the landmines? Just answer me honestly. And then they use this tool in reflexive control, which is called emotional triggering, where basically they visited the soldiers at the hospital, causing a lot of emotional angers toward Cambodia with no verified evidence, by the way. And then the next day, guess what they did next? Their military openly say that they don't need government approval to conduct military operations. So we can already see what their motive is. Narrative framing first, with all of these BS of emotional framing, legal framing, and then it all gives them the internal justification to launch the attack on Cambodia on 24th of July. But guess what? It's the same tactic again. Narrative framing first. They said we attacked them first with a BM-21 rocket with no evidence, and their media keeps saying that we attacked them with a rocket, when in reality, in terms of technicality, it doesn't make sense for the BM-21 to even reach the 7-Eleven. And even in terms of logical fallacy, the idea is that Cambodia, a country with a military defense, would use a rocket to attack a civilian area. It just makes no sense. And even with the facts that recently, they found this BM-21 rocket bomb and they detonated without presenting the full bomb as evidence. If they were so confident, why didn't they present the full bombs? Why need to explode it, take the fragments and present it as evidence? It just doesn't make sense. There is no verified evidence, and while the war is going, they rejected the court mediation, they rejected ASEAN mediation, US mediations, until the US pressured Thailand to agree to the ceasefire, and then Malaysia be the chair to mediate the conflicts, and then they agreed to the ceasefire, but the drama isn't over. And right when the ceasefire was agreed, Thailand's narrative framings and accusation doesn't stop. So it begs the question, if Thailand truly won peace, why keep pushing accusations? Why keep saying that Cambodia did this and that without any evidence? And what really angers me is right after the ceasefire was agreed, Thailand captured Cambodian soldiers. And I want to present you the full timeline so you can understand the logic. So let's start with the main timeline. On July 28th, both sides agreed on a ceasefire between Cambodia and Thailand. And the ceasefire was agreed, right? But Thai media has been shouting that Cambodian broke ceasefire. But guess what? Was there any report of hostility? Was there any report of sounds at the border? There was nothing. But Thai's media has been shouting. You know what that is called? It is called preemptive framing. And viewers, let me invite you to understand the logic behind reflexive control and Thai usage of it. So as you can see, right after the ceasefire was agreed, Thai media kept on repeating that Cambodia broke ceasefire again and again. And then the government also say that. And all of the media sources in Thailand repeatedly over and over and over say that Cambodia breaks ceasefire. And that led to the effects where big media essentially are repeating the same thing. So it creates like an echo chamber where the headlines are being repeated, so it feels like it is being verified by third party. So this narrative first strategy then controlled the Thai citizens' perceptions, which led to a lot of people in the comments say that Cambodia was the one who broke ceasefire, which is why the prisoners are detained. The level of manipulation run deep, and you really need to search it in order to actually understand it. So now let's talk about what actually happened. And this is all confirmed, by the way. You can check the source in the description below. The ceasefire was agreed. So what's next? Cambodia invited the Security Council observer, the ASEAN observer, and the Human Rights Chief observer. This is confirmed by Cambodian source, international media source as well. And then the observer at the border report that the border is silent. All of these are happening while Thai's media kept on repeating that Cambodia broke ceasefire, by the way. So that is a very strange thing. And according to Washington Post and many other big media, there was supposed to be a commander meeting in the morning on July 29th. But guess what happened? You know, I just shared with you this continuous event of Thai saying Cambodia breaks ceasefire, kept on repeating the news, and on the commander meeting on July 29th, Thailand said Cambodian soldiers surrendered. There is an internal justification from Thai Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He said that all of the detainees are captured because they broke ceasefire. When? Who confirmed it? There are literal observers at the borders and they reported in silence. There was supposed to be a commander meeting that was confirmed. So a commander meeting was confirmed, Cambodia goes for a peace gesture, and then Cambodian stories said that the Thai army surrounded them. Now, this is when things get very funny. I thought that Thailand was a fully democratic country, but the amount of brainwashing that I saw in these past few days is absolutely insane. All of their citizens come flooding in my comments saying that your soldiers broke ceasefire. Confirmed by who? Confirmed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, by Thai's government. But they never factor in the fact that the commanders are supposed to have a meeting for peace gesture. And they never factor in that the ceasefire was in effect. They never factor in the fact that the observer at the border said the border was complete silent. So where's the logic that allows Cambodian soldier to break ceasefire and then miraculously surrender? And so we've reached a point today where the soldiers are still captured by Thailand. And I did a research to further prove that the logic doesn't make sense. During a ceasefire, it is very rare, very rare that the soldiers suddenly surrendered during it. You want to know why? It's because a soldier during a ceasefire doesn't just walk into enemy territory and then get surrounded, which is something that Thailand is claiming. So I just want you to compare both stories and to just tell me, like, which one makes sense? A story that is proven by a lot of facts, or a story that is proven mostly by internal justification from their own sides, their own army, their own claim. Just make your decision. Even Thai citizens, you can comment down below, not with accusations and conspiracy, but with actual facts. Break it down for me, I want to know. And it goes to show that if we look at it objectively, which side won war? Which side won peace? It is clear that objectively, Thailand want to prolong this war. Now, I will not go into conspiracy, but we can look at patterns, we can look at facts and data and evidence. Based on history, What is shown is that Thailand, for the past century, have had more than 20 coups, where 12 or 13 coups were successful. Whereas for Cambodia, our government is not perfect, just like any other government in the world. Although our government is not perfect, that clear voice is unified by the idea of peace. That is what we have wanted from the start. On May 28th, when our soldiers were shot and killed, if we really wanted war, that would have been the justification. So right now, I want to talk about how Thailand has violated the international law, which their government claimed they are not. But let me bring you what happened based on their government. At the start of the conflict, when the soldiers were detained, there was no labeling them as prisoners of war. That itself already violated Article 4 of the Geneva Convention, where soldiers captured during armed conflicts are automatically prisoners of war. Thailand didn't label any of that. They tried to blur the line. The next thing that Thailand skipped is Article 5 of the Geneva Convention. There was no prisoners of war tribunal that was held. Thailand entirely skipped that. And Thailand also did a lot of manipulative framing, where at first they said the soldiers violated immigration law, labeling them as immigrants. And then somehow they framed the situation on August the 4th, transferred it to the label of prisoners of war. So it just goes to show, if one side truly worked from good faith, then why try to manipulate the narrative? Why not be honest from the start? In fact, why not give back the soldiers from the start? Really bring my curiosity as to why Thailand captured the soldiers as well. Because as I am recording this, there are video evidence of Thai soldiers putting barbed wires around the disputed area. Okay, I double check, and the location that Thai army put the barbed wires is actually within Cambodia territory, which makes it even more suspicious. And I don't understand what's wrong with the Thai government, because on the 4th of August, they tried to downplay this accusation. But on the 5th, they somehow say that because their force seized that area before the ceasefire, it means that it is inside their border. Now, this is not me saying it, it is from their military. It really requires people to dig deep in order to see all of this. And I want you, the viewer, to also do research from Cambodian side as well. Do research on both sides and make your own findings, make your own summary, because this is what I did. And I am trying my best to be unbiased. Think about it for a second. Many Thai citizens commented on my post saying that the prisoners are being taken care of. By what standards, by the way? What standards? Thailand never once mentioned the prisoners are prisoners of war until August the 4th. So what are they before August the 4th? From what I can see from Thai's government themselves, they are detainees who violated the immigration law. And that is manipulation at its finest. They are brainwashing their audience in real time. And my friends, you have to research it deeply to see, to read between the lines. So I don't know what they are planning. But one thing that I can say for sure is that if we look at evidence, patterns, and actions with evidence to support it, you can answer the question already. Which side won peace and which side won war? You can double check what I said in the research paper down below. And I just hope that this war ends very soon. And finally, I want to say thank you, massive appreciation to everyone who have watched the video, reacted. I really appreciate it. The reason why I make it is because I feel like despite me presenting a lot of evidence and facts and logic to support my claim, I even put the references in the descriptions. A lot of comments, they seem to really want to push these ideas of conspiracy that Cambodia started this war because of A, B, C, and D. And yeah, I just want to make this final video to basically point out the logic in their claim that Cambodia want to start this war, when in reality it is their country who has been pushing narrative the entire time. Not just narrative, but provocative narrative as well. So yeah, I don't think this video will reach 80% of Thai citizens and their head. But for the remaining 20, who actually, I have 4,000 Thai viewers, but only 200 dislike the video. So I wonder, how about the rest of the 3,800? Why didn't they dislike the video? So it really poses the questions. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you do enjoy it, be sure to drop a like. I will be moving to doing more research video in the future, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks, goodbye, and peace.